Ladies, gentlemen, I bring you a platter with hot steaming dong news today for a new edition of Kongwatch. That's right, brand new stuff to talk about. First of all, can I just say that I really picked the best time ever to start working on these Kongwatch videos, because Donkey Kong speculation and news and rumors have just been rampant this year. It has been insane. And, like I've said in the past, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's just more fuel to the fire. There's something coming. We know it's happening. Well, and actually, I will tell you, it is happening. A new DK exists. This is factual. I can't tell you how I know. You'll just have to trust me on that, but it's happening. Today's news, however, I cannot confirm the legitimacy of. Because this actually comes from a leaker by the name of Zippo. I'm usually pretty skeptical when it comes to leaks of any sort. I don't trust leakers as far as I can throw them. But that said, I mean, this guy has gotten stuff correct in the past, and he is a fairly notable leaker. People tend to listen to him and what he has to say. So I thought, at the very least, it would be interesting to go over today's leak. Because if he happens to be legit, we may have our first, real super solid, tangible bit of evidence as to what we can expect for this new Donkey Kong game. I will say though, before we really get into it, just take it with a grain of salt, just like any leak. You don't get too invested in it, but I am going to go over it, dissect it a bit, and kind of give you my thoughts and feelings on the whole shebang. So let's take a dive. In typical Kongwatch fashion, I'll be sitting here drinking my Ocean Spray grapefruit juice, I guess that's what this is. It seems like I'm always drinking something whenever I'm doing these Kongwatch videos, so I just figured I would share. No real relation to anything else in this video, just yeah. So Zippo claims to have a bunch of new information regarding a bunch of Nintendo projects and games coming out this year, and well, let me just say, at face value, it all looks very promising. I'm not gonna lie. Whether or not it's legit, and that remains to be seen. E3 is right around the corner, so we're definitely gonna find out. But yeah, he goes into detail about this new Donkey Kong game that's supposedly coming up too. So let's take a look. I'm just gonna go ahead and read over everything that he has to say regarding Donkey Kong. It's not much, but it does give us some valuable insight. Potentially, into what's coming up. So he says, it's the Big Ape's 40th anniversary, and while I'm not sure how Nintendo is celebrating the occasion, there is a new 2D DK game that is being developed by EPD Tokyo. Retro is obviously busy with other things, so Nintendo has taken it upon themselves to bring DK back as an internal series. Don't expect the country moniker to return, as EPD Tokyo are not interested in making a sequel to games they didn't make. Diddy, Cranky, and the Kremlin crew should all be returning in this installment. It sounds like this game is launching before the end of the year. An E3 announcement seems very likely. So, that's a lot to take in. I guess we'll just start from the top. He claims that it is going to be a new 2D game from EPD Tokyo. EPD Tokyo developing this game is something that has been speculated and rumored for a while now. It seems very likely that they are the team behind this Donkey Kong game. A new 2D game would line up with the job listings that showed up a couple of years ago, I think, on their website. They were hiring for a new 2D action game and a new 3D game, so it was kind of a toss-up as to, which one it could be. It technically still is a toss-up. Donkey Kong still could potentially show up in 3D, but Zippo's claiming it's 2D, so yeah. Personally, if you ask me, I don't think a new 2D game would put DK back on the map in a huge way. It's being rumored heavily that Nintendo wants to bring Donkey Kong back and make him as big as he was during the Super Nintendo era, where, he was basically the face of Nintendo at that point. Gotta be real, I'm sure, look, I have faith. I have a lot of faith in this team. I'm sure that if they are making a new 2D Donkey Kong game, it's probably going to be very good. It would probably be a super solid game. I don't have any doubts about that. But whether or not it can stand up among the crowd and, really go above and beyond and, put DK back on the map the way they're talking about, I'm just not so sure. I just don't know about that one. There are already a lot of 2D platformers on the Switch, like not just Nintendo, but non-Nintendo 2D platformers as well. It's a fairly common game type, especially for like indie developers, to make 2D games. But again, I mean, Nintendo themselves already have a bunch of 2D games on the Switch. You look at, you know, they got Kirby, they got Yoshi, they got Mario. Donkey Kong is already on the Switch as Tropical Freeze. And that kind of raises another point that I just don't know that it makes a ton of sense to start a new 2D DK series, you know, unless Retro Studios Country series is done for. Just having multiple 2D Donkey Kong games, you know, going side by side, it just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But I think especially if they're going for that wow factor, putting the team who is behind, you know, some of the most cherished Mario games of all time, these big 3D Mario games between Odyssey and Galaxy, and, you know, it just go on, and it just goes on and on, you know, I can sit here all day naming them. Having that team work on a new 3D Donkey Kong game and really just polishing the heck out of it, making it as good as it can be, I feel like that would do a lot more to put DK on the map than another 2D game. Again, I do want to make it known, like, I'm sure that if they are making a new 2D game, it's going to be fantastic, but I don't know that just doing another 2D game is gonna do enough to make it stand out. But who knows? Who knows what they're doing with it? It's really hard to say at this point. You know, even with the details that we have from this leak, it's still kind of vague. So we don't, who knows? Who knows what it's gonna ultimately turn out to be. But anyway, let's move on a little bit. He mentions the return of the Kremlings, which is, you know, it's basically a given, but it's very exciting. King K. Rool's return in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was huge. Not only for DK fans, but just Smash fans and, you know, Donkey Kong fans, Nintendo fans, you know? Everybody likes King K. Rool. He's such a fun, goofy character. Like, why wouldn't you want this guy back in Donkey Kong? Why did they take him out in the first place? Doesn't make any sense, but I digress. I would love to see the Kremlings have some sort of theme like they did in the SNES games between the pirates and you know, the kind of army getup and the, you know, the whatever they did for the third one. But, you know, I think it would also probably make a lot of sense to just reintroduce them as is, you know, and have King K. Rool appearing just in his king attire, because it's been so long since he has appeared in a Donkey Kong game. It's been well over 10 years at this point, which is kind of insane. But especially, you know, if they're going to reintroduce him, it makes sense to just, you know, go for the general Kremling aesthetic, which is totally fine. I'm just happy that they're probably coming back. I love the Kremlings. I'm excited to see them again. He specifically only mentions Diddy and Cranky as far as the Kongs go, which has me feeling a little bit iffy. You know, I would love to see the larger Kong cast return in a big way, not just Diddy and Cranky, you know, kind of like they did with Donkey Kong Country Returns. Like, if it's just Donkey, Diddy, Cranky, and the Kremlings, like, I feel like we're kind of retreading, you know, the old, you know, the Returns ground there. You know, keep Dixie around, bring Kiddy Kong into it, why the heck not? Chunky, lanky, tiny, you know, we want to see these characters. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe it's too soon to get all of them back at once. I would personally love to have them back again. But I guess we'll see. Maybe the Kremlings, maybe the Kremlings is it for now, which, okay, fine. You know, I'll bite the bullet on that. At least we get the Kremlings. I love King K. Rool so much. He also claims that it seems like this game will be launching before the end of the year, and an E3 announcement seems likely, which is kind of what I've been guessing at for a while now. It just seems like the timing is lining up. I have heard rumblings that this game has been in development for a couple of years now, like possibly in upwards of 4 years, which, you know, that's a long time for a game to be in development, especially if it turns out to be another 2D game. So the timing definitely checks out. I think that E3 is probably very likely to be the destination for DK. Hang on, my dang cat swiping toys under the door. Scrappy. Oh! Sorry about that. My little kitty. He being naughty. A November release, I think, would fall perfectly in line with most of the 2D Donkey Kong games that have come before it. Like, it just makes a lot of sense for them to try to release this one at around that time. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I mean, it would fall in line with that pattern, which, you know, yeah, and be a perfect holiday release. Man, I would love to have a DK for the holidays. Oh, can't believe I'm sitting here talking about the holidays. I am not ready for the holidays yet. We're barely getting summer started. Summer, stick around a little bit. That's about it as far as Donkey Kong stuff goes in this leak. However, Zippo also mentioned a couple of other titles that are currently in the works that may have possibly retroactively given us answers regarding that Diddy Kong render from a couple weeks ago. He mentioned about the existence of Super Mario Party 2, and it seems very likely to me that this render could be used there, assuming that the game exists. You know, it's hard to say. Waluigi also got a new render recently, and I don't know, it just seems like, you know, a couple of these characters are getting new renders, and, you know, that might be used here. Who knows? He also mentioned about the existence of a new Mario Kart, you know, and that's also another possibility for where this Diddy Kong render could be used. And let me just say, a new Mario Kart would be a breath of fresh air, honestly. It is another sequel. It'll be another Mario Kart. We kind of know the basic gist of what to expect, but, you know, we get Mario Karts once, you know, maybe every console generation, and they're always so much fun, so I'm just looking forward to that. Hopefully hopefully it's real. But yeah, you know, like, the other possibility for that Diddy Kong render is that maybe they were just getting him, you know, to look a little more modern, you know, giving him a take that is similar to what we can expect to see in the new Donkey Kong game. Who knows? Very hard to say. Very hard to say for sure. Anyway, I guess that's about it. As I said at the beginning of the video, take it all with a grain of salt. We don't know. We don't know what's going to be happening here. Personally, and I've said it already, I really think a new 3D game would go so much farther at putting DK back out there in a big way than a new 2D game would. But at this point in time, it's hard to say for certain what is going to happen. Lots of rumors suggesting a 2D or 3D game. You know, it's been one or the other. Zippo seems a little more definitive in saying that it is a 2D game. Who knows though? Guys, I have a lot that I want to try and talk about before E3. I have my own hopes and wants for a new Donkey Kong game that I'd love to do a video on, talking about that a little bit. There are also some really strong theories and speculation regarding some of the things that we can expect to see in the next Donkey Kong game, whether it's 2D or 3D. I have a friend who is a super sleuth, I would say. He's the DK detective, and he has made a lot of interesting points to me that I think there's not really anybody out there talking about. So maybe we'll go ahead and you know, put some of that information together and make a video of our own, and, you know, discuss it a little bit. Hopefully before E3, because E3's looking pretty good, guys. E3's looking pretty good. Just wait a little bit longer. Anyway, what do you guys think of all this? Do you think this leak is, you know, do you think it's anything to be trusted? Do you think it's total bull? Total hogwash? Total Kong wash? I'll say it again, at the risk of getting my ass beat if it never pans out, there is a DK game coming. It's happening. This isn't me giving you false hope. This is me giving you real hope. You heard it here first. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you heard it from somewhere else, but I'm telling you it's real. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This has been Uncle Al with Game Show Planet and Kong Watch. And I will see you guys next time.